Good morning, students. Welcome to online teaching session of Academic Word School, Bemitra. Today, this is my sixth lecture on determinants. It is my last lecture. Today, I will try to wind up this chapter. If you recall, in the previous lecture, we discussed how to find out inverse of a given matrix, and towards end I told you that in my next class, that is today's class, we are going to discuss something which is very important. So now today I am going to discuss that very important thing. What is it? Application of determinants as well as matrices. Though we are doing this chapter determinant, but in this subtopic we are going to use both the aspects, determinant as well as matrices also. So now in this application, what is it that we want to find out? Where we are going to apply? If you remember in very beginning, when I introduced the concept of matrices, over there I mentioned something very specific, and I am trying to remind you once again. The point which I mentioned, I said that if number of unknowns and number of equations are more than 2, the methods what we learned in grade 10th are not good enough to solve these equations. You can apply, no doubt, but it will consume lot of time. It becomes little lengthy also. And therefore the concept of matrices that was introduced. There are other reasons also, but this is also a prominent reason. So now question is, if number of variables, let's say are 3, and 3 equations are given, for example, these 3 equations are given in 3 variables. Now question is, how can we find out solution of this? So remember that this particular concept is important from board examination point of view also, and very often every year they ask one question and then they write in that, find out unknowns using matrix method. So the moment they say that using matrix method, you have to find values of it, then the method what I am going to explain, this method is only applicable. You cannot apply any other methods. There are some methods, but you cannot apply it. So let's see that if you are given these 3 equations, so how to write it. So step by step I am going to explain these things. Look at this, A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3 are representing coefficients of variables. So I am going to construct a matrix of coefficients. Let's say it is denoted by capital A. Capital A stands for coefficients matrix. So what is that? A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Look at this here. This is nothing but a matrix made by coefficients of these 3 equations. Coefficient means what? The number which is associated with the variable. So that is what is the coefficient. And then there is one more matrix. This is called variable matrix. Variable means what are the unknowns which you have to find. So there are 3 variables, x, y and z. So we prepare x, y, z. Now look at this. These are elements, and as we know, always elements are represented by small letters, whereas matrices or determinant, they are denoted by capital letters. That is how I have used capital X, and these are the elements. And then there is another matrix let's say it is B, this is called scalar matrix. What is that scalar matrix? Look at the right side of this equation. There are three constants given, D1, D2, D3. So we are arranging that also D1, D2, D3 to make a scalar matrix. Now you can see that I have constructed three different matrices. What is the purpose? And then you can ask, what is the purpose of this? Have patience. Let's see that here. If I ask you, multiply A by X, what will happen? So first of all, you need to see that whether we can multiply or not. Look at this, its order is 3 cross 3, its order is 3 cross 1. Now if you see, number of column 3, number of row 3, it means they are equal and therefore we can multiply. After multiplying, whatever new matrix you are going to construct, what will be order of that? It will be 3 cross 1. Correct? So if I multiply, have patience. See what will happen. First row by first column, you will multiply. So if I multiply first row by first column, what will come? A1x plus B1y plus C1z. So you are getting, and this is nothing but this is written the same thing. Clear? Multiply second row by this column, A2x plus B2y plus C2z. This is nothing but left hand side of this second equation. Now A3x plus B3y plus C3z, when we are multiplying, we are getting this. It means if I multiply A by X, I am getting the left hand side of that. And what is the order of this? This product is representing a matrix of which order is 3 cross 1. And what is over here? This is also matrix of 3 cross 1. And therefore, two matrices we can equate. And what is that? This is nothing but B. So now you can see that the given system of linear equations are expressed in form of matrices. I hope this part is very clear. Given system of linear equations are expressed as matrices. See that A is a matrix, X is a matrix, B is also a matrix. We have expressed that. If you multiply, you can get that. So once we have reached over here, then now we need to find out what was the purpose. We wanted to find out values of X, Y and Z. Now question is, how come I can find out that? So before going for the solution, you need to think, this is a matrix which is A. Is it possible to find out inverse of A? A is a matrix, a square matrix. So we need to think, can we find out for a minute, just for a minute, suppose A inverse is the inverse of this matrix. I'll tell you whether we can find or not, we will discuss that here. But suppose if A inverse stands for the inverse of this, and if we pre-multiply by this inverse on both sides, what will happen? You will get A inverse A, X is equal to A inverse B. Now, this will give you I, it becomes I X is equal to A inverse B, or X is equal to A inverse B. Now you can see that in the left hand side you have only variable matrix. Right side is another matrix. And when you are equating two matrices, what does it mean? Corresponding element has to be same. Whatever is written on the right side, if you are equating with this, obviously you can equate corresponding elements. That will facilitate to get the value of X, Y and Z. So this is the way we can find the solution of this. Now coming to the various cases, whether it exists or not. And if it exists, what will happen, whether I will get solution or not, means whether this system of linear equation will be consistent or it will be inconsistent. So case, we will take three different cases and one by one I will explain to you. Look at this. What will happen in this case? I am taking first case. This will exist provided you say that case 1, find out value of corresponding determinant. If corresponding determinant is non-zero, then only A inverse will exist. Fine. And what will be that? A inverse will be adjoint of A divided by determinant A. Clear? So your right hand side you can say X will be equal to adjoint A multiplied by this B upon determinant A. Now as this is non-zero, therefore it exists, and this is a unique, therefore this solution will be also unique. So in case 1, when corresponding determinant is non-zero, indirectly it is saying that your matrix A is a non-singular matrix. So when it is a non-singular matrix, you are getting unique solution. And let me tell you one more thing. In this chapter, we are going to confine only for the solutions which are unique. That means we will try to get the unique solution. There are a couple of questions where the different cases may come up, but primarily our focus will be on getting the unique solution. This is the case 1. Look at the second case. What happens? We said that determinant A is non-zero. We got the unique solution. Now, if I say that this determinant A is equal to 0. If this is 0, that means what will happen? You need to see that X, which is equal to, you said that adjoint A multiplied by B upon determinant A. Understand this point. If this determinant A is 0 and the product of these two doesn't lead to 0, in that case numerator is non-zero, numerator is non-zero, denominator is 0. Understand that. If that happens, then you will say that there is no solution in that case. Clear? If this is non-zero, if this is 0 and this is non-zero, then there is no solution for that. In third case, understand, we are saying that determinant A is equal to 0. Fine. As well as adjoint A into B, this is also 0. Now this is interesting case. This part is 0. This is also 0. In this case, what will happen? So, in this case, what we will say that the system will be consistent provided it has infinite solution. It will be inconsistent if it has no solution. Again, I would like to put thrust on the first case, because you will notice that in your textbook, most of the questions are collected on this ground. So this is what is the theory of this, how to find out the variables, and now we will take up couple of questions and then solve step by step. I have already taken 2 questions, we will attempt that question. So as I said that we will move step by step. So understand what is this step by step approach. So first let me write down the question. Question is, okay, see here in the first question, this also you need to understand. It is not that directly questions will be given and then you will be asked to find out that. There are different ways in which question can be presented. For example, over here it says that A is given matrix. It says find out A inverse. So first we have to find out that, and after getting inverse it says that find out this. We will go as it is given. We will go step by step. Fine. First we will find the inverse of this, and then we will find the solution of that. This is one way of presenting question. There is also a way to present question where it says that using matrix method, find out unknowns or variables used in this. There is one more way. There are some questions which are given in your NCERT as well as in reference book, where questions are given in word problem form, where it says that first formulate in form of system of linear equation, and then you find out solution of that. So that is another way. So there are 3-4 types of questions which are given. You need to practice all these type of questions. Let's begin this one. So to find out inverse, already we have discussed how do we find out inverse. Step number 1. First we calculate the corresponding value of the determinant. So what is my corresponding determinant? Corresponding determinant will be 1, 2, 1, minus 1, 1, 1, 1, minus 3, 1. This is my corresponding determinant. And then what will be value of this? Its value will be just 1 multiplied by, leave this part. This is your 1, 1, and then plus 3, it gives you 4. Then minus 2, I have taken minus 2 multiplied by, leave this part, minus 1, and then 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, and then it gives plus 1 into, leave this part, this is plus 3, and then minus 1, it becomes 2. So if you further simplify, it will give you 4 plus 4 plus 2, which is equal to 10. So one thing you can tell that this determinant A is so value is 10, which is non-zero. So very first thing what we established, we said that this is a non-singular matrix. Only non-singular matrix can have their inverse. So it means its inverse exists. But what is that inverse? We have to find out that. So let's find out inverse of this. So for that, what you are supposed to do? You are to find out inverse of that. Step 1, got the value of corresponding determinant. Second step, now we need to prepare the cofactors matrix. We'll take transpose of that, which will give you adjoint. And after getting adjoint, we will divide it by the value of corresponding determinant. That stands for the inverse of the matrix. Let's do that. So to find out, first we will prepare the cofactors matrix. So cofactors are A11, A12, A13. These are, what is written? Cofactor of the element which is kept in place of first row, first column. That means this element. Similarly, all these elements cofactor we will find out. So what will be A11? Look at that. A11 minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1. Take that here. Leave this part, leave this part. This gives you 1 plus 3. It becomes 4. This is even power, so it will become 4. A12. A12 is this one. Leave this one, leave this one. It will give you minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2. This is odd number. And if you leave these things, what will happen? Minus 1, it gives you minus 2, minus, plus, it gives you value 2. A13 is minus 1 to the power 1 plus 3. This is even number. Look at this. Leave this part, leave this part. This will become 3 and then minus 1. 3 minus 1. It gives you 3 minus 1 gives you 2, and therefore this value becomes 2. So we got the cofactors of elements which are kept in first row. Let's take up second row element, A21, A22 and then A23. So if we calculate this, it will give you minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1. Where is A21? This is A21. Leave this part, leave this part. So if I leave this one, what is there? 2 and then plus 3. It will become 5. Check that here. 2 plus 3. it gives you 5, and over here this is odd number, therefore this becomes minus 5. A 2 2, this is minus 1 to the power 2 plus 2, and then where is A 2 2? This is A 2 2. Leave this part, leave this part. If I leave this thing, 1 and then minus 1, you can see that 1 minus 1, it becomes 0, therefore it is equal to 0. What is A 2 3? Minus 1 to the power 2 plus 3. Where is A 2 3? This is A 2 3. Leave this part, minus 3, and then this is minus 2. Minus 3, minus 2, it gives you minus 5. The power is odd, therefore this is also minus. Minus minus will become plus. It gives you value 5. So cofactors of second row's element we have got. Let's find out cofactors of third row. That is A31, A32, and then A33. What is A31? This will be minus 1 to the power 3 plus 1. Leave this part, 1 minus 2. Look at this. This is 2. If you take 3 1 means leave this 2 minus 1. That gives you 1. Here it is even, so you are getting 1. A32, leave this part, If I leave this part, this is 1, this becomes plus 1. 1 plus 1, and therefore it will become minus 1 to the power 3 plus 2. 1 plus 1, this is equal to, this is 2. So finally you will get minus 2. Where is A33? A33, if you see, if you leave this part if you leave, you are getting 1 and then plus 2. 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 means 3, minus 1 to the power 3 plus 3. This is into 3. This is even, so answer will be 3. So finally, you will be getting these are the cofactors. So step 1, first we have to prepare the cofactors matrix. So now I am preparing cofactors matrix. So my cofactor matrix will be, what will be that? 4, 2, 2, minus 5, 0, 5, and then 1, minus 2, and then getting 3. What will be adjoint? Adjoint of this matrix A is nothing but transpose of this. So take the transpose of this. So if I take the transpose, it will become 4, 2, 2, minus 5, 0, 5, 1, minus 2, and then 3. So this is what we have got. This is adjoint. Now what will be my A inverse? A inverse is nothing but adjoint of A divided by determinant A. So what is my determinant A? That is the value 10. So what I have to do? I need to divide it by 1 by 10. So I have written separately, and then I am writing my matrix, which is 4 minus 5 1, 2 0 minus 2, and then 2 5 3. So I got A inverse. Please understand what I have done. Step by step. Step number 1, get the value of corresponding determinant. Step number 2, calculate all the cofactors and prepare cofactor matrix, and then take the transpose of that, which is nothing but adjoint of that. When this adjoint is divided by corresponding determinant, it gives you the inverse of that. So we have reached to the second last step. Now after that, what we have to do? Please look at this. After doing this, as I told you in the beginning, x is equal to A inverse B. We have got A inverse. We need to find out value of x. What is x? X is nothing but x, y, z. This is a matrix of unknowns. A inverse, write down that. So it is 1 by 10, and then your this inverse is 4 minus 5 1 2 0 minus 2, and then 2 5 3. This is my A inverse. And where is my B? B you need to write down. That was your scalar matrix. So scalar matrix was, it was 4. 1 minute. 1 minute. Hold this here. Gone. Okay, now see that. So in this question, as it says that first find out A inverse. So what we have done? We have calculated inverse of that A. Now after this, it says that find the value of these x, y and z. So that we have to find out. So how to find out? So as in the beginning I said, this whole system of linear equation can be expressed in form of matrices. So that is the step which is left. So what I will do? First I will write down that. Find coefficient matrix, variable matrix and then scalar matrix. That we need to prepare. So check it. What is my coefficient matrix? Coefficient of x is 1, coefficient of y is 2, coefficient of z is 1, 1, 2, 1. Look at this. 1, 2, 1. Minus 1, 1, 1. Minus 1, 1, 1. And then see that 1 minus 3, 1. 1 minus 3, 1. Though this question doesn't say that, over here already they have taken the coefficient matrix. But if you compare with that, we have already, in question itself, coefficient matrix is given and we have calculated already inverse of that. So after getting inverse of it, what are you supposed to do? We write that A, it can be written as x is equal to A inverse B. Now be very careful. What is my x? Over here x is nothing but your x, y and z, unknowns. And what is A inverse? A inverse right now you have calculated. So you can write that 1 by 10 and then this matrix is 4 minus 5 1 2 0 minus 2 and then 2 5 3. This is my A inverse. What is B? As I told you earlier, B is nothing but it is a scalar matrix. What are the scalars? 4 0 4. These are the scalars. So scalar matrix, when you are preparing, you will say that it is nothing but 4 0 4. Now we have got almost my solution. So what are we supposed to do after this? We will multiply, then we will take 1 by 10 inside and then compare the values of x, y and z. Let's do that. So if I multiply 1 by 10, what will come? This row by this 4 4 ja 16 minus 5 and 2 0 0 1 4 ja plus 4 multiply by second row 2 4 ja 8 0 and then minus 2 into 4, it will give you 8. This gives you 4 2 ja 8. This is with minus sign because this is minus. And then multiply third row by this, it will give you 2 4 ja 8, then 5 0 0 and then 3 4 ja 12. So this becomes 12. You can look at this. Now further simplify, it gives you 1 by 10, it will become 16 plus 4 nothing but 20. 8 minus 8 becomes 0 and then 8 plus 12 it becomes once again 20. 1 by 10 you can divide because this is a scalar multiplication. 1 by 10 will divide all elements. Finally it gives you 2 0 2 and your left hand side is x, y, z. Both are column matrix of 3 cross 1. If you compare, this implies that x equal to 2, y equal to 0, z equal to 2. This is my solution. Now how to check whether it is correct or not? So if I replace this value in the given equation, check it. X equal to 2, y equal to 0, x equal to 2. 2 plus 0, 4. It is correct. Replace over here, it becomes minus 2 plus 2, this is already 0. Satisfied? Replace over here, 2, 0, 2. 2 plus 2, 4. Satisfied. That means my answer is correct. You can also verify whether your answer is correct or not. Now, let's move to the second question, where it says that using matrix method, solve this one. Now, over here, no matrix is given, nothing is given. It simply says solve it. So, let's proceed to solve this one. So the question what is given, this is not required now. So I'll rub this part. So what is the method? To find the solution of x, y and z, the very first step, what do? We write down in the form of matrices. So let's first write down in the form of matrices. So I am writing, let's say A is my coefficient matrix, X is my variable matrix, which is nothing but equal to a scalar matrix. In this form we want to write down. Let's write down that. So it will become 1 minus 1, 2, then 3, 4, minus 5, 2, minus 1, 3. This is my coefficient matrix, and then you will say x, y, z variable matrix, which is equal to 7 minus 5 and then 12. What I have done, this is step number 1. Given problem you need to express in form of matrices. So I have expressed that here. To find the solution, step number 1, very first step, what you are supposed to do? You need to find out corresponding value of determinant of coefficient matrix. So this is my A. So what I will do? I will find out its corresponding value. So determinant A will be, so I am first writing what is my determinant. So 1, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 5, 2, minus 1, 3. So if I write the value 1, leave this part, 4 3 are 12, 12, and then it will become minus minus plus, 12 minus 5, it gives you 7. Then minus, because of this place, into minus 1, leave this part. If I leave this part, it becomes 3 3 are 9, 9 plus, this will give you 9 plus 10, it becomes 19. 5 2 are 10. And then 3 3 are 9. This plus you are taking this 2, leave this part. If I leave this part, it becomes minus 3, and then minus 8. That means it gives you minus 11. Minus 3, minus 8. So if I simplify, it will give me 7. This becomes plus 19 minus 22. So if I simplify further, 19 plus 7, it becomes 26 minus 22, which is equal to 4, which is not equal to 0. So we came to know corresponding value of determinant A is 4. This is what we are going to use, so just keep it safely. And this also indicates that this is a non-zero, it means its inverse will exist. So we are going to get unique solution. The moment you say that it is non-zero, it also ensures that you will get the non-zero solution. So let's proceed. So step number 1. Step 1, express the given system of linear equation in matrix form. Step number 2, find out value of corresponding determinant of coefficient matrix. See to it that whether it is non-zero or not. So the moment you are saying that it is non-zero, you are indirectly saying this is a non-singular matrix. Once we have done, after that what is the next step? We are going to construct cofactors matrix. So we have to calculate all possible cofactors. So let's find out all cofactors. So I am writing that all cofactors A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32 and then A33. I have written all these. First we will calculate this and then we will prepare the cofactors matrix. So let's find out the value of this. So A11 will be equal to minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1. Leave this part, leave this part. So what will come? If I leave this, it is giving you 4 3 jar 12 and then minus 5. This gives you 7. It is equal to 7. What is A12? This is minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2. A12. Leave this part, leave this part. If I leave this, 3 3 jar 9 plus 10. So this gives you 19 and it becomes minus 19 as this is the odd power. Check once again. A12. A12 means first row, second column, leave this part. 3 3 jar 9 plus minus minus plus 10. It becomes 90. Now find out A13. A13 will be equal to minus 1 to the power 1 plus 3. So A13 means leave this part, minus 3 minus 8, minus 3 minus 8, it will give you minus 11 and this is even, so you are getting minus 11. Cofactors of first row's elements we have calculated. Move to the second row. In second row, see that what will be A21. A21 will be minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1. So leave this part, it will give you minus 3 and this gives you plus 2. Minus 3 plus 2. It will become minus 3 plus 2. It gives you minus 1 and this is odd power. So it will give you value 1. A22. Leave this part. 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4. So this will 3 minus 4 means minus 1 and it is minus 1 to the power 2 plus 2. 3 once again check that 3 minus 4. It gives you minus 1. So value is minus 1. Where is A23? A23, leave this part. So you are left with minus 1 and then plus 2. Minus 1 plus 2 means it is giving you 1. Therefore you can write minus 1 to the power 2 plus 3. Its value is 1. This is odd. Therefore you are getting minus 1. Now come back to this A31. What will be that? Minus 1 to the power 3 plus 1. A31 means we have till now calculated cofactors of all elements of second row. Now we are moving to find the cofactor of elements of third row. So this is A31. Leave this part. 5. This is 5 and then minus 8. 5 minus 8. 5 minus 8 means this gives you minus 3. This is already even, therefore you are getting minus 3. A32. What will be A32? Minus 1 to the power 3 plus 2. A32. Where is A32? A32. Leave this part. So you are getting minus 5 and then again minus 5. Minus 5. It gives you, minus 5, 3 2 just 6. Minus 5 and then minus 6. It gives you minus 11. This gives you minus 11. So minus minus will become plus. It becomes 11. Check once again. A32 we have calculated with respect to this. So minus 5, 3 2 just 6 that we have got. Now to find out this A33, this is 3 plus 3, leave this part. So you are left with 4 and then plus 3. This becomes 4 and then plus 3. So this gives you 7. 4 plus 3, 7. So this will become 7. So we have calculated all cofactors. Let's see that. So what we have to do after this? We are preparing cofactors matrix. What will be that? So I am writing all the elements which we have taken. 7 minus 19 minus 11 then comes 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 3, 11, and then we have got 7. After getting this, we need to find out adjoint. So I'll rub this part because it is now not required as such. We have already got the value of this also. Value of this also we have got. So now we will write adjoint of that matrix A. So adjoint matrix when we are writing, what will be that? It will be adjoint of that matrix is nothing but transpose of this. So write down the transpose. It will become 7 minus 19 minus 11, then 1 minus 1 minus 1, and then minus 3, 11, and then I get 7. After getting this adjoint matrix, what we need to find out? We need to find out inverse of A. This is nothing but adjoint of A divided by value of determinant A. What is my adjoint? Already I have got. So I will divide by value of determinant, which is 4. So I can write it as 1 by 4, and then my adjoint is 7, 1, minus 3, minus 19, minus 1, 11, minus 11, minus 1, and then 7. So we have got the inverse. Now I think we are left only with one last step. What is that? We need to find out value of x. So what is the value of x? X is nothing but A inverse B. A inverse is 1 by 4, then this matrix 7, 1, minus 3, minus 19, minus 1, 11, minus 11, minus 1, 7, and your scalar matrix is 7, minus 5, and then 12. That was our 7 minus 5. 12 is our scalar matrix. Now what we have to do? We have to simply multiply and get the answer of that. So we will multiply this 1 by 4. Let's multiply. 7 7 ja 49. Then 1 into minus 5. Minus 5. Minus 3 into 12. This will give you 36. So we have multiplied first row by first column. Multiply second row by this. So if I multiply minus 19 into 7, obviously it will be minus. So what will be that? 7 9 ja 63, 3 carry 6, 7 1 ja 7 plus 6, it will become 133. Then multiply minus 1 with this minus 5, it becomes plus 5, and then 11 into 12. So 11 into 12 means 12 10 ja 120 plus 12 132. It gives you plus 132. Now multiply third row by this one. So if I multiply third row by this, it gives you minus 77, minus 77. This becomes plus 5, and then 12 7 ja 84. It becomes 84. We have multiplied that also. Let's further simplify, see what comes. 1 by 4, it will become 41. See that this is 41. 49 minus 41 is 8. Then this becomes 137 minus 133, it gives you 4, and then it becomes 89. 89 minus 77 gives you 12. So we got this. If I divide by 4, you are left with 2, 1, 3, and this is equal to this matrix. So basically we are getting x, y, z is equal to 2, 1, 3. So if I compare these, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1, Z is equal to 3. This is the way you can see, and now you can check whether this solution is correct or not. Simply you need to replace these values in this one. Just for one example, x equal to 2, y is equal to 1, and then z equal to 3. 3 2 just 6, 6 plus 2 8 minus 1. That is satisfying. Similarly, you can verify other equations. So what I told you today, how to solve this system of linear equation using matrix method. So again, I'll just remind you how to proceed. First you need to express given system of linear equation in matrix form. After expressing in matrix form, where you are writing in the form of Ax equal to B. A is coefficient matrix, X is variable matrix, B is scalar matrix. Fine. First write on corresponding determinant corresponding to coefficient matrix. See that the value of determinant is non-zero. If it is non-zero, means your coefficient matrix is non-singular, means its inverse will exist. Once you are sure its inverse will exist, find out cofactors, prepare cofactors matrix, and then take transpose of that which is representing adjoint of it. Once you have got adjoint, divide by the value of corresponding determinant by which you have divided. That represents A inverse of the coefficient matrix. Once we have done that, then what we need to do? X equal to A inverse B. Replace the value. Multiply it by scalar and then simplify. You will be getting the values of unknowns, that is X, Y and Z. Last thing, there are a couple of questions which are, as I said, word problems are given. In form of word problems they are given. You need to formulate first and then you need to solve. Assignment related with this lecture is already uploaded. I would urge each one of you to download it, solve it and send back to me through ERP. In case if you have any doubt on this, any concept of this or the previous concept which I have already taught you, feel free to ask me. You can send your queries through ERP. I'll try to respond all those questions. Thank you.